Good evening, my Rosalynds and Rosikins. Mother is back. And on this episode, I want to talk about what I wish I knew before identifying as a brown / darkskin exotical. And what inspired this video more than anything is Brave Face by Halle Bailey. Her song, I've been having that on repeat because I just resonate completely with that song. And she just dropped it yesterday, but it's so amazing and impactful and so true, especially when you are in the light and people see you. They see your face, they see your body, they see who you are, you speak, you have a personality, you share things, you're vulnerable to the public eye, right? And I remember Exoticals United. She always said that she made a video actually about this how being a pretty girl is like being a celebrity. A mini one, if that, you know what I'm saying? But the point is that you are more scrutinized when you raise your hand and say, hey, my beauty sticks out and I benefit from certain isms and I have pretty privilege. It's war. When you do that, it's war. So I want to touch on some things I wish I knew before doing this. And I also want to say that I don't regret it. I think that this has really helped me to see a lot of things for what they are and to stand in who I am more so now than ever. And to also grow within my beauty, within my mentality, within myself as a pretty girl. And as a brown / dark skin exotic, I'm not taking that away. And as an exotic black woman, it is what it is. So what I realize, and when I talk about these different aspects of exoticals and unambiguous black women, this is not all of you. Okay, you guys are really dope. But this is for the ones that I've come across so far that are outside of the exotical community that I'm a part of in regards to Exoticals United and the beautiful ladies on the Discord. This is not about you. Unless you resonate with this, then I guess it would be about you, but no. No, not the ones that I've met, not the exoticals, the fellow exoticals in my life. No, not them. But to the ones that I feel are very eh, questionable, along with some unambiguous black women as well, very questionable with their motives in trying to check anyone that claims they're brown / dark skin exotical, if I'm being completely honest. So, what I wish I knew is that every exotical, whether brown / dark skin or light skin, won't see me as an exotical or exotic. So, I wish I knew this before I started because it would have made a lot of the shocking moments that I've experienced, especially after showing my face, less shocking. You know that scene from Attack on Titan, which you know is my favorite anime of all time, and my baby daddy, Aaron Yeager. Okay, get your life. You remember that scene when, okay, and I'm sorry, spoiler alert, when Reiner and Berthold revealed themselves to Aaron that they are Titans too? It's giving, that's like the type of energy I felt. Okay? When I realized that every exotical, whether they're brown / dark skin or light skin, will not accept me as a fellow exotical, it was like, oh my god, you're a Titan too? Type of energy. Sorry. Oh my god. Man, and what's crazy is that a lot of them that not even a lot, but the ones that don't accept me as an exotical, I literally was like fangirling over or I was like, oh my god, that's so lit. And now I realize that everybody does not view me the same. Everybody will not view me the same, or any brown / dark skin exotical the same. Because one, you have melanin, which approximates you more to blackness than them. And then it goes down to the features, the hair texture. Even though I have ambiguous features and hair texture, although this more Afrocentric leaning as well, I think it's just so funny. It's so funny to me. Because it was just like, okay, okay, we get it. We get it. I'm a Negro. I said I was. So, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's funny as shit. Anyway, okay. The second thing, people will police your identity because some of us brown skinned dark skinned exoticals look too black for most. So what I also realized is that they find you to be more black passing than another brown skinned dark skinned exotical. You're done for, bitch. Just go bury yourself in the fucking grave, bitch. It's over. It's over. You're done. You're done. Ah. I realized that too. It was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you like that type of brown cis dark skin alcohol. You don't like this type of brown cis dark skin alcohol. Got you. Okay, gotcha, bitch. It's like I'm sorry. I realized that my Rosalind's is just like, yo, okay, cool. Okay, cool. And then that's when I start wondering, like, about your black self hate and about how you think anything that is close to blackness is unambiguous, and that's not always the truth. At least not from my perspective and from my experience. Okay, another thing. Some will accuse you of bleaching when you want to skin correct or skin lighten to the shade that's already on your body so that you're even tone because you're naturally brown. So, again, I just want to reinforce this. I already said that I am brown. I could go to dark brown or light brown, but still fucking brown. Think copper like a penny. Okay? I don't have to bleach myself to feel beautiful. I'm melanated as fuck and I'm gorgeous as fuck. Well, okay. I'm getting gorgeous. I'm pretty as fuck. Look, I just keep it real with how I feel about myself at certain points in my life. And right now I'm feeling pretty, okay? One day stunning as fuck. Anyway, moving on. So, and to some people, I'm already stunning. So, to those, thank you. But I still have a lot to work on with my beauty, I feel. But yeah. So, yeah. What? I don't need to be light and bright. I don't need to be the shade of Hillary Clinton or Beyonce to be a bad bitch. You got me fucked up. I don't have to bleach to feel better about myself. I rock my melanin and I rock it fucking well if you ask me. So no, I'm not trying to pull, God rest his soul, a Michael Jackson in that way. I don't have vitiligo or anything. So I don't need to skin correct to the point where I become white. The devil is a liar. Although there's nothing wrong with you if you have paler skin. Shout out to my lighter skin exoticals. You guys are gorgeous. But the point is, yeah, I don't need to do that. I just don't need to do that. My melanin, I believe y'all gave me, and it works to me, and it looks beautiful on me because melanin is beautiful, whether it's lighter or darker, whatever, or brown. I'm a brown skin woman. I love it. Okay, I have camouflaging powers. What was it? Camouflage? Sorry, chameleon powers. Where depending on the lighting, the season, and my health, my skin looks lighter brown or darker brown, like the images I've shown you. Moving on. Okay. Another thing is since unambiguous black women as a collective can't relate. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just go with that one. To your privilege plights or pretty privilege, they'll say certain unambiguous black women look better than you to cope. Okay, so what I realized is after I shared my beauty on my channel and I talked about my privileges and privileged plights, hello, that I coined, privileged plights, get your life. Um, some unambiguous black women were in my comment section trying to compare me to some unambiguous black women that they know, right? When I classify myself as an exotic black woman, an ambiguous black woman, and a brown dark skin exotical. So I don't know what you're trying to prove when you say another unambiguous black woman looks better than me. She can look better. I don't give a fuck. That's your opinion. The fact of the matter is I'm getting pretty privilege, and if she's getting pretty privilege too, more kudos to her. Slay queen. Again, I've said this before in one of my other videos. If all you can say to a woman is, I'm prettier than you, what the fuck did you really accomplish? Because she's still getting pretty privilege. That's like Adriana Lima telling Beyonce, well, I'm prettier than you. Okay. Queen B's still Queen B. Adriana Lima's still Adriana Lima. Both bitches bad. Both are in the top 10%, if not 5% of women. So what's the problem? And that's what goes back to hierarchy thinking because, again, I never compared myself in the sense of saying I'm better than unambiguous black women. All I ever said was that we have different plights. And I made that very much clear in my videos. So that's what I'm just saying. Like, I don't understand. But the other gag is, since also some exoticals, an unambiguous black woman will view you as an unambiguous black woman because you are too black passing for them and discredit your identity as a brown to dark skin exotical. They will feel like you don't stand out. You look too black to me to be anything other than black. And oh, like, okay, that's your opinion. That's not my life story though. So I just find it funny. And even like in the Discord, I've like shown like pictures of my family and talk about where I come from, even on my channel, like all these different things. And at this point, if I'm just your average black woman, then miss me. If I'm just your average black woman, sorry, an average unambiguous black woman, there you go. Then your average unambiguous black woman should be having the same plates as me. And last time I checked, collectively they don't. So something isn't adding up, bitch, and it's not me. Okay, okay, because my shit checks out. Is all I'm gonna say about that shit. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I just find it so interesting. I find it so interesting, and it also shows that there is a certain sphere of exoticals as well. Okay, and be honest, some that see that the more other you look, the more exotical they'll deem you. When you can be exotical and literally be mixed and look more black, but you're still an exotical. Now, I said before, I'm not mixed. I have admixture and I benefit from certain things like texturism, pretty privilege, featureism, etc., symmetry with my face, which equals to pretty privilege. I also said that featureism is more important than anything, I feel like, more important than hair texture, more important than skin tone. Because some people try to say colorism is what holds a beautiful woman back, and I don't believe so. Do people have preferences? Yes, but there are preferences where darker skinned women are the preferred one. There are preferences where lighter skinned women are the preferred one. And this is why I'm able to say that every race has pretty ass bad bitches because pretty is pretty. And so my point when I'm breaking down what I benefit from and how I know that I'm ambiguous is because of my own life experiences. It's because of the bloodline I come from. And it's just because of literally my reality and what people have approached me with and asked me about where I come from. So yeah, I just find it very interesting. And I also mentioned, and some people might feel that mentioning AI is not valid, but for me it's valid. Okay, I love you. For me it's valid though, because it's an objective viewpoint and it analyzes my features and it has so many all the knowledge in the world AI does. And so it could compare your features to that of other different ethnic groups and races. And one thing I know I damn sure have is ambiguity with ethnic groups as well that are melanated like myself. So yeah, I'm not just your average black woman, as one would say, or your unambiguous black woman. The devil is a liar because that's not my experience. If it was my experiences, I would say so. But no. Obviously, people see me, they see a black woman, but they also ask, what more do I have in my bloodline? And that's what I'm getting at. And I also don't have the same plights as unambiguous black women as a collective. So that's what I'm saying. If my story, if my experience is different from theirs, how are we twins? How are we the same? And I also mentioned my beauty fluidity. And I'm going to touch more on that too. In regards with my melanin. Okay, so also, okay, here we go. I also want to say that even some other brown cis dark skin exoticals feel this way about me personally, and I feel that at least. I peep that, I feel it in my bones. Um, that once I had shown myself, it was like, okay, well, she's pretty, but she's not one of us. At least that's how I felt. And correct me if I'm wrong, any other brown cis dark skin exoticals. Okay? I adore you still, even if you don't think I'm one of yours. Moving on. But yeah. And I'm gonna stand 10 toes deep on what I claim to be, which is an exotic black woman in a brown cis dark skin exotical. Period. So it is what it is. So even if you don't think that I'm one of you, I love you, boo. Hi. Anyway, so yeah. So I felt like I didn't feel bad after I had shown myself. I felt how you say this? I felt like this could go one or two ways. Either I'll be validated or I won't be validated. And it was kind of like in the middle. It was kind of in the middle. And I would expect that to be because I already know about the unambiguous black community doing the fucking most, respectfully and disrespectfully, with anyone that claims that they have certain benefits within the black community, whether you are white passing mixed or someone like me or looks like me, but you're mixed, but you have a lot of melanin and you might look more black to some more than others, or just black to some more than others. So, yeah, I already knew that that was going to happen with the unambiguous black community, but I guess I was not geared for the exotical community, whether they were brown, dark skin, or light skin, trying to invalidate my identity. And again, I'm going to keep saying this. This is not to every unambiguous black person. This is not to every exotical, whether you're brown, dark, or light. I love the exoticals that I've come across, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up loving way more because the exotical community has been a blessing to me. It has accepted me, and I love that. I love that for me. I love the community we're building as pretty privileged women that have so many different phenotypes and that have the same benefits and also different plights even within the exotical community. And I've talked about this how lighter skin exoticals have the plights of being othered a lot and ostracized and physically attacked by a lot of unambiguous black people, while brown cis dark skin exoticals were very much so safer to the black community, and they try to take our identity and cosplay as us because they feel that we are a pedestal for them, like pretty privileged pedestal. And when they use us as the representation and they try to tell us that all we are is unambiguous black people, when that is not true because our plights, again, are privileged and they're different from unambiguous black people as a whole. Okay. I talk about all of this stuff on my channel. And so it's disheartening sometimes when people literally skip what the fuck I'm saying and just goes to attacking and ignorantly trying to identify me as what they think I am. And that's not my reality. So anyway, okay. Okay, so also, since my reality is that I have pretty privilege and I speak on this on my channel, I am more scrutinized for my looks as a brown dark skin exotical. You know, phrases like you don't look exotical enough, you just look black, oh, you always blackness, as if that's an insult in itself, which it's not. But for me, I want clarity with my identity and to speak on how I felt since I started my channel, because sometimes it does get to me in the sense of it makes me question why do I reach out to other brown, dark skin exoticals if some think that I don't qualify for what the fuck I speak on? So it's like, okay, well, since my efforts are in vain, let me get the fuck up out of Dodge. But then I have to remind myself that ever since I was a child, everybody won't listen to me. And they didn't. But the ones that did and the ones that acknowledged who the fuck I was, they were extremely blessed to have me in their life. And they told me this. They're proud to have me as a friend, to have me as a family member, to just have me in their life, even if we're just passing through in different seasons of our lives. And they've always like highlighted how great I am, how I'm different, how I have a calling on my life, how so many different things. So then I realized that I'm not made for everyone in the sense of being accepted for by everyone. And the funny thing and the ironic thing is that's exactly what the exotic community is. It's not for everyone. It's literally an ostracizing type of experience because once you say that you have certain privileges more so than others, they don't know how to take it because they feel like you think that you're better than them. Well, that's not our experiences. It's the fact that we just have these experiences. We don't, well, I'll say the examples that I consider friend, sisters, etc., they don't feel that way. Are there some exoticals who do feel that they're better than unambiguous black people and other people? Yes. I'm not going to hold you. But also, are there unambiguous black people that feel like they're better than exoticals? Yes, I'm not going to hold you. So, at the end of the day, if both communities, as in some of the communities or some parts of both communities, are feeling more superior to the other, of course there's going to be beef, and those who claim to be part of either community are going to be that don't want that beef, or that don't feel that way, are going to be going to be in the crossfire of that type of confrontation. And we see that right now with everything going on, literally. So with me, I like to think of my channel as hopefully a rational. I can't even say that sometimes I'm not biased, but I try not to be in regards to analyzing the dynamics of the Black community and exotic community and the in between, right? Because as an exotic Black woman, as a brown Darkskin Exotical, I have benefits from both, and I have the perspectives of both. And so I see certain things. I don't always speak on it, but the things that I feel that I'm ready to speak on, I do speak on. And this is one of the things I feel like I'm ready to speak on. Okay. And it's disheartening because I already told you all, I love exoticals. I love unambiguous Black women. I love exotic Black women. I love brown cis dark skin exoticals. I love anyone that has a foot in the Black community and that is proud of who they are. They're proud of the otherness that runs through their veins. They're proud of the heritages, the cultures that they're a part of, outside of the Black community and within the Black community. They're proud of who they are. They're pretty, they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, they're stunning women, and they are very accomplished, intelligent, and they are trying to create a like minded community of women just like them, whether they're lighter, darker, browner, whatever. But they understand their power, they have divine femininity, and they have pretty privilege. These are the types of women in both of these communities that I completely adore because they are women who are on a mission to be better and who don't let things stop them from being great. And I am in awe and inspired, and I admire that because I am that as well. And so for me personally, it just sucks when I see so much ugh, ugliness. That's the word I would use for a lot of the things that are going on. So much ugliness. And what's worst of all is that me being part of the exotic community, I know exoticals that are just brilliant, gorgeous women who do not believe or feel that they are better than. Like Exoticals United, for example. Since she's one of the most well known exoticals that everybody is like putting heat towards, she's not the type that is like thinking that she's better or trying to steer exoticals or unambiguous Black women in a bad way. She's not doing that. She didn't. Also, she never said that she came here to be a nice person in the sense of catering to people. She's not here to cater to anybody. She says what she feels, she analyzes it to the best of her abilities, and she puts out content. And she even says she's not here to tell somebody whether they're pretty or not. So when she made that medium ugly video, it wasn't geared towards anyone specifically. It was literally about women who are sexualized and think they have pretty privilege. Because here's the gag, okay? This is how I know I have pretty privilege, if nothing else. I'm still a whole virgin, and I talk about this on my channel all the time. And I have received all the things I talked about thus far, and there are stories that I still need to share about my pretty privilege, and that will have I will have more stories in my future as well about my pretty privilege. Pretty privilege. I just know I will. And so, because like I said, honey, you're not aging if you school in life. As in, if you're a pretty woman, you get prettier with age if you know how to take care of your beauty. Okay, can I get an amen? Amen. And I'm 26 and I'm looking forward to being 30 one day. Okay? I'm looking forward to that because 30s is your 20s, but with money and with you having a routine and a lifestyle that you're sedentary in, that elevates you if you did it right and if you are intelligent and analyze the things you want in life, period. So, yeah, but I thought that that was just so crazy. So crazy to me. How like people got like offended by that. But like I said, I'm a whole virgin. I experienced those things. I experienced pretty privilege. So I know that it wasn't just sexualizing me that got me what I got. It was also the fact they liked my face very much. They thought it was beautiful and pretty. And I didn't have to strip down for someone to get those things. I literally would just take a walk. This man literally gave me a whole Coach bag that I still have to this day. It's so pretty, so fucking pretty. And I might put a picture of it. It's so fucking pretty. And he was like, it's pretty like you. Like, I literally have had men just invite me to go with them places just because I'm pretty. It was never, oh, what that ass do. It was, you're really pretty. And then they love the way I think. And I mentioned this before because I have a great personality. I have flaws, yes. Sometimes I could be selfish. A lot of times, well, before, during that time in my life, I had a lot of low self esteem, even though I was deemed pretty. And that's why I try to speak life into my Roslins and anyone who will listen, even the unambiguous black women and other exoticals, because they need to know. They need to know that they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Just because you might face beauty adversity, okay, you have weight, you have no acne or whatever, your hair might be short and you're trying to grow that shit out, you might deal with scalp psoriasis, alopecia, whatever. But if you're pretty, you're pretty. Like, period. Ain't nothing about it. Do you need to improve? Yes. Maybe you need to lose the weight. Maybe you need to do this. Maybe you need to do that. Do it. Okay, unlock your true looks max self. Again, it's it's a journey. Your beauty's always gonna be a journey. So I believe any woman should do what she needs to do to be able to validate her own beauty for herself. But even with all those things I dealt with, like the pictures I post, some of them are literally from like a year ago to like years ago. I love it. But my point is that these were years where I was like low down. And these are years where these stories have happened to. And recently, where some of these stories have happened as well that I've shared. Again, I don't share every single thing because everything is not to be shared. Amen. But I share what I feel comfortable with sharing and that I'm ready to share and that I feel like would actually add to my points and hopefully are relatable to other pretty girls. So my thing is just the fact that just because she tells you that sexualizing yourself doesn't mean you're pretty privileged, she's right. Like, I think of people like Felicia Rashad. She's never sexualized herself, but she is deemed as a beauty symbol, not a sex symbol, but a beauty symbol. And we need to get that right. There's a difference between a beauty symbol and a sex symbol. Some women are both beauty and sex symbols, and some women are strictly beauty symbols, and some women are strictly sex symbols. It's not the face card that's hitting so much to get you mesmerized. It's what that ass do, though. Let's keep it a buck. It's what that kitty meow do, okay? What that mouth do. I think of a woman like Sukiana. She's a sex symbol, period. Sexy red, a sex symbol, right? Felicia Rashad, a beauty symbol. Marilyn Monroe, a sex symbol and beauty symbol. Though she leans more towards beauty symbol because she was at a time where it was more conservative. But I believe that if she was here now in this present time, at the peak of her beauty, like she was before she passed away, she would have been more of both. Because some people still look at her as both, but she was definitely a beauty symbol. Megan Fox is a sex symbol and a beauty symbol. Adriana Lima can be both, but I would deem her more as a beauty symbol than a sex symbol and beauty symbol because she did modeling professionally. She is a supermodel. So it's just things like that that you just have to be able to compartmentalize and also understand the differences of. And don't get mad when a pretty privileged woman tells you there is a difference between sexualization and pretty privilege, because there is. So you can have both, but sometimes you just have one or the other. So my thing is like, that's not wrong. And then I remember where I felt so low about myself at one point where I was literally um trying to get closer, get the perspective of my beauty from other exoticals or another exotical at one point or someone else. And they had like disrespected other exoticals that I actually do fuck with. But I was so big on trying to get validation that I didn't really even like click that, hey, they're being disrespectful to so and so, I should say something. But I did say something. I did. When I realized how it might have been perceived. But I apologize to any examples involved that might have felt or that I felt I failed in that moment, that are actually allies of mine and friends, or, just good, beautiful women to know, or colleagues, as one could say, or peers, or within the same exotical community or sector of exoticals I'm a part of that are also allies and friends of Exoticals United, or just part of the community, the Pretty Girl Club. So yeah, and I also felt that the reason that some people treat exoticals like we are colorist, futurists, think we're better at queen bees, etc., is because they know that we have pretty privilege. They know it, right? But they don't want to acknowledge that, or they feel that they don't have the capabilities of having it too. Now, I know I talk a lot about your baseline being pretty, which for my channel, I prefer women that have pretty privilege. Or, you're facing beauty adversity, but you have it. You have it. You do have it. Than women who don't, because women who face beauty, well, not even that, women who don't have pretty privilege at all, whether you're facing beauty adversity or not, they will feel slighted when I talk about certain topics. They will feel that I'm lying when I talk about certain topics. They will feel that they want to put me in my place and neg the shit out of me when I talk about certain topics because they literally cannot relate. And that's why I rather have pretty girls listen to my content, because pretty girls know what the fuck's good. There are pretty girls who have even more pretty privilege than me, and I can admit that. I'm on my journey to acquiring more pretty privilege, but I understand that there are levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, for me, with my vulnerability and just being honest with myself and with my Roslins and Rosikins. And I know people who are haters, they're going to listen to this video. People who don't really fuck with me, but when they see what the fuck I'm trying to say in regards to where I stand with the exotic community, me being an exotic black woman, also being biggest black woman, a brown dark skin exotical. Oh, well, is she still fucking with them? Oh, yes, the fuck I am. Because I am one. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now you know. But I want to touch on certain topics that I have felt deeply in my fucking soul that I just didn't know how to express in the most logical, sensible, and empathetic way. So, also, people confuse exotical with a certain race when it's highlighted ambiguous attributes or physical features about your beauty that stand out. I want to add that exotical does not necessarily mean mixed race. I know I did a video talking about how it's made more so for MGM and mixed race people, which I believe is still valid. But when I say I'm an exotic black woman, I'm the biggest black woman, and I put myself under the brown dark skin exotical umbrella, I can also deem myself a brown dark skin exotical, because even though some might think of one thing, it also still can encompass someone like me, because it does. So I just want to put that out there, because I'm like literally over using all these different terms sometimes. Brown says dark skin exotical. I literally made my channel for my Roslins who relate to this content and who relate to my experiences as well, who are brown says dark skin exotical. So I'm gonna keep going with it because it is what it is. Okay. And then once you show your face, people move different and take cheap shots at you. I realized that too. Once I showed how pretty I was, yes, I'm gonna say it, how pretty I was. I realized that at first I was like, well, oh my god, do they think I'm ugly or something? What if they don't think I have pretty privilege? After I showed myself. Because I'm someone who overthinks at times, and I've always been told this since I was a little child. And I do. But I also, in my Achilles heel, is sometimes I do care what people think. And I'm woman enough to be honest with myself and you all about that. Because for me, I want to be accepted. But I realized, not to the detriment when people gaslight you out of who the fuck you are. Oh no, you got me fucked up. I'll take your rejection wholeheartedly, pronto as fuck, because I'm not going to give up my identity and also my experiences and my reality because you don't think that I should have it, or that you can't comprehend why I would have that type of reality or identity. So that's when I realized who the fuck I was. And I talked about that in my video about brown to dark skin articles. I am, because I am a brown to dark skin article. I'm gonna stand on that shit. And part of being a brown to dark skin article, I deem, is that you have pretty privilege, and I do. So anyway, and I remember when I posted myself, I realized also that people probably were really shocked because they were like, "Oh my god, like that's her." But what I will say though is that I had people like saying that, "Oh, you don't look like a brown, it's just dark skin exotic. What's exotic about you?" But I didn't really hear people calling me ugly. That's what I will say, because I'm not. And then there were some people who were like, "Oh my god, she's average. You're average." Well, they didn't say she. They looked like they literally commented and was saying rude ass shit to me. But I pushed it away because the reality is that that's not true. Okay, the lie detector determined that was a fucking lie. Okay, bitch. Anyway, so I don't know, but I realized that when people put a face, an identity to a voice that has topics that might be controversial to a lot of fucking people, especially women, they want to fight. They want to be catty. They want to throw jabs at someone who that doesn't even apply to, aka me. Period. And remember, I told you guys in my videos, me and a woman can have beef. I never come for her looks. If she's pretty, she's pretty. She's pretty, she's pretty. Like, there are some exoticals who don't fuck with me and have made it clear they don't fuck with someone like me, just because of my phenotype alone is off putting. It's throwing them off because I look too black for them. That I still believe have pretty privilege. I know I'm dumb as fuck. I get it. I'm a stupid ass person for thinking that. Like, how can you say that someone who rejects you, who might be mean to you, who might talk shit about you, might even deem you ugly, or not that bitch is pretty because I have eyes. I'm not a bottom barrel bitch. I'm not one of those. I'm not a low vibrational bitch. I'm definitely not one of those. I'm not someone who is so hell bent on trying to bring someone down because they don't fit the archetype of beauty that they possess, that I'm going to sit here and lie and say a bitch is ugly when she's not. And these are women whose faces I haven't even seen, that I still feel like, okay, I still feel like she has pretty privilege. And I might be dumb as fuck for it. So forgive me. Forgive mother. But I really feel that way. I really feel that way. And some of them have shown their face. I still believe they have pretty privilege. I don't think they're ugly women at all. I don't think they're average women. I think they're beautiful women. I think they're still in the top 20%. It is what it is. We don't have to agree with identity politics in this bitch. But one thing that we should all be able to say is that's a bad bitch, whether we like them or not. Okay? Okay. At least that's how I roll, because I'm on my grown woman shit. Okay? I believe in leaving that catty shit to the middle schoolers and high schoolers. As you know, I was an educator because that's what the fuck it's giving. Me, I don't believe in all that. I will analyze things. I will think about things. I will at times say, hey, that person was wrong. That person was right. That person has an interesting perspective. This person meant this. Doesn't mean I still fuck with you though. But I can be logical enough, analytical enough to try, not even try, but just to be able to see and read between the lines. So that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, I realized that some women just cannot take that you are who the fuck you say you are. And the gag is, even if someone wants to identify me as not being a brown cis dark skin exotical, they can never take my pretty privilege. And so I think it's all putting when you have exotic black women and biggest black women saying, hey, I benefit from these things too, to certain women who feel like you too black to be benefiting from any fucking thing because they have self hate, or they've been scarred by unambiguous black women where they want to group anything that looks black to them as being an unambiguous black woman when the devil is a liar. Because again, my experiences, my reality, what I've been told are different. And so I'm just saying that I found it so fucking interesting how the energy shifted for better and for worse. In regards to better, where my Roslins and my Rosikins, they know mother is that bitch. But then some other fellow exoticals and some bottom barrel unambiguous black women have the nerve to try to critique my looks. You got me fucked up. Anyway, pronto. Now, have there been times where I felt that I looked a hot fucking mess? I have told y'all, yes. But are there times, especially now more than ever, where I'm on my globe journey and looking better than ever? Fuck yeah, I am. So that's what I'm saying. Just because you've had a glow down as a pretty woman, your baseline is still pretty, on God, does not make you ugly or average. It makes you fucking human. And it possibly most likely made you traumatized because something had to happen to make you feel like you just had to let yourself go. But the point is that when you bounce back, you're still that bitch. So that's what I'm just saying, that, okay, like, I see. You feel that a bitch gotta be a 10 to be speaking about shit. When I already said that for me, 10 is subjective, that's one. Nines, eight, sevens. I'll go with eights, nines, tens. Okay, cool. But anyway, I never said that I was a 10. You projected that onto me, for those of you who feel that you have to be damn near perfect. No, not even damn near. You have to be perfect to speak on shit. The devil's a fucking liar. But what I do know is I'm still a bad bitch, and I'm pretty. That's my baseline. It's only up from here. So it is what it is. Whether anybody likes it, slice it, put in the fucking blender, it is what it is. So I know that much about myself, if nothing else. Okay? Okay. So another thing I want to talk about too is, oh my God. Okay. People think that their opinions on your beauty can stop your privileges. Oh my God. I realize this now more than ever. Whew. People think because they leave nasty ass comments, because they make videos about you, because of all these different things, right? Try to exploit your pictures, try to critique your beauty, that they could stop your beauty. I never understood that logic. People do the same to people like Beyonce, Aaliyah, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. I still think he was a handsome man. It is what it is too. I'm just gonna include him with that. Prince. They do that to anybody. Halle Bailey, okay, Chloe Bailey, Tiana Taylor, Lauren London. They do it to everybody. Every beautiful ass woman or man, any attractive person or very attractive person, y'all do it to them. Y'all neck the shit out of them. They don't even know you exist. Unfortunately, I know your ass exists. Well, yeah, I do know. Because they're on a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? With their stardom, with their moves, with their money, with their wealth, with their fame. So again, it's just different. But my thing is just the fact that you do that with anybody that you feel is above you. I've never seen somebody neg Gabrielle Sidibe or Gabby Sidibe or whatever. I've never seen someone neg Viola fucking Davis. Is all I'm gonna say. And I don't think that these women are terrible looking at all. I don't think that. I think the Viola Davis is actually very pretty to me, anyway. I think Gabby Sidibe could stand to lose more weight for her health, but I don't think that she is the most terriblest thing that ever existed in looks. Okay? But I don't see you guys really doing that to women that you deem as average or that mirror you. You don't neg them because when you see them, you see your beauty representation. So you would never say that, oh, that person's ugly or average, because that would be like calling yourself ugly or average. So I also peep game within that, depending on your phenotype and who you put up on a pedestal. So I get it. You got to represent and you want someone to represent you well. Cool. But please, let's not mistake you for negging me with you humbling me. Those are two different fucking things that are never gonna happen, bitch. I just want to put that out there. Okay? You can neg till the fucking dogs come home. Like I said in my videos before, every time someone's come against me, they've fallen, I've been elevated. It is what the fuck it is. Okay? You don't know what the fuck I've been through in life. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that one too. So again, no one can humble me like the Lord can, like y'all can. No one has ever been able to humble me like y'all. He's the only one that could truly humble me, and he has. So that's why I'm able to have a humble spirit and a humble perspective to be able to say, I'm not a 10. I'm not the baddest bitch, but I'm one of the baddest bitches, and it is what it is. I have a crown that you cannot take. I have a destiny that you cannot destiny swap with or sabotage. I am who the fuck I say I am. On God, on y'all, like literally. And so, though some of you might have a problem with me because I'm too black looking and I don't have the same plights as unambiguous black women, that's on you. But what I do know is I'm a brown sister, skin's all cool through and through. And who like it, and who don't, who don't. Also, something I learned as well, or wish I knew, was that your blackness as a brown cis dark skin exotical will be used to discredit your lighter skin exotical sisters' experiences, as everyone will claim they're unambiguous black women due to you being one of the exoticals that showed your face. And since you're an exotic black woman, you're deemed as unambiguous black woman, which is a lie. So what I realized is anything that looks too black to anybody within these certain spheres, um, they try to use it against my lighter skin exotical sisters. And I don't like that. Because one, I'm not an unambiguous black woman. I'm a brown cis dark skin exotical. Okay, I'm exotic black woman. Get it right. Two, these beautiful women who say they are lighter skin and exotical are who the fuck they say they are. I don't understand how people would believe that anyone that has pretty privilege would lie about their identity into which they got their pretty privilege from or their phenotype. Because I know I didn't lie. Although some might say, oh my God, you misled me. I didn't mislead shit. I already said what I had. I broke it down many times. So my thing is just the fact that I find it so fucking interesting how they'll try to use someone like me who is vulnerable, who shows myself because I'm authentic to who the fuck I am, I stand in my truth, and try to discredit my lighter skinned exotical sisters and try to call them unambiguous black women hiding behind a fucking screen or something. I think that's crazy because why would they do that? This is what I'm trying to wonder. Like, why would someone lie about their phenotype? Why would they say they're literally a whole different shade than what they are? Why would someone say they're a whole different racial mix or background than they are? Because at the end of the day, truth is going to always come out for what it is. And so I just find that interesting. And also, I peep the diss and even saying that that's what the truth is. When you say that there are unambiguous black women hiding, trying to cosplay as mixed girls, what does that say on how you view unambiguous black women? Let's go there. Because it's almost saying, oh, you're not pretty enough. You're just lying about your exotic experience. You're really unambiguous black women. And if they were unambiguous black women, are you trying to say they wouldn't have pretty privilege too? So I guess I just think differently when people are saying shit. And it throws me off because I'm like, okay, oh, mm, oh, that's what that means. So I'm just thinking a lot of different shit when I'm listening to different people's perspectives about a lot of different shit. It is what it is. And my thing is just like, I don't think people understand what they're saying when they say shit about a certain group and say that someone's trying to cosplay as something that they're not when they're really this, as if it's a diss if they really were that type of group of women. And not only that, I also peeped that I'm one of the few brown sisters or skin exoticals that's ever shown themselves. I know Pretty in Between has shown herself. I know some exoticals that have smaller channels that are on the up and coming have shown themselves too. And they get chastised for their looks as well. But what I damn sure know is I'm one of the only darker skin, brown skin ones that have done it. And so what throws me the fuck off is okay, people saying every time exoticals show themselves they're unambiguous black women. One, I'm not an unambiguous black woman. So you can miss me with that one. Second of all, my privileges are not the same. Or should I say my plights are not the same. My privileged plights, there we go, are not the same as unambiguous black women as a collective according to their own talking points as well. I did my DNA test. I looked up my family lineage. I'm still doing research. But everything that I've ever claimed to be, I have made that distinction. And exotical, again, it does not necessarily mean mixed race. It means you have ambiguous features that stand out where people question your identity, your beauty. And I have that. So, yeah, and anything they question, it still links back to blackness in some form or fashion. And I talked about the different ethnic groups and cultures they think I'm a part of because my features are ambiguous to them and my beauty is unique. So, I talk about all this stuff on my channel. But I peep when people say certain shit, it throws me off, y'all. Rosalind's Rosikins, it throws me off because I'm always wondering, wait, why would you say that? Like, what about that thing? Why? Why would they have to cosplay? Why would they have to bleach their skin? Because I swear, I keep hearing that. Why do people think these certain things about these women? Why can't you just believe they're pretty ass women talking about their experiences and people have a problem because they can't relate? Because again, no pretty ass woman that stands 10 toes deep into her pretty privilege and that also is all for growth and evolving with her beauty that I'm tracking has ever come against exoticals. That's why I do know. Even before I knew what term to use to describe my experiences as a black woman, exotic black woman, and ambiguous black woman, even before I knew what terms to describe myself as or that I could be or was a part of this community, I had lighter skin, exotic women in my family as well that I completely adored and that always praised my beauty. It was never oh, they think they're better than me. It was always uplifting me in my beauty because, again, I struggle with my self-esteem a lot. And so they always praised my beauty. They always told me that I was so beautiful. And so I don't see lighter skin exoticals, even the ones that are very much problematic. towards browner, darker skin exoticals and unambiguous black women. Let's talk about it. I don't see them as enemies. I see them just as women. Beautiful women, some, some beautiful women that have that ratchet mentality or fucked up mentality, if you ask me. But I don't see them as like, oh my God, they're competition. Oh my God, like I'm better than them. I don't think that. And I don't think they're better than me either. I don't think that either. So, what I find very funny is just the fact that people try to really divide us exoticals, whether you're darker skin, lighter skin, brown skin, and try to put us on a hierarchy because certain people within unambiguous black women community and unambiguous black people community in general and within the exotical sphere that lean more towards their otherness with regards to their phenotype where they look more mixed than others or are mixed feel that that's the way it should be, a hierarchy. And I don't subscribe to that shit. And the first person I really learned that from was Exoticals Unite, where she put into words what I've always felt. Or some people say, oh, it's a hierarchy with your beauty. It's a hierarchy with your skin tone, colorism, and featureism. I don't believe that. I believe pretty is pretty. There are different ranges. There are different ambiguous combinations that make up an exotical. Some exoticals benefit more from their beautiful hair texture than anything where they stand out because of their hair. Some because of their skin tone. Some because of their facial features. Some because of their body. But they still have pretty privilege because as a collective, it all comes together and they're pretty. They're not sexualized only. They have pretty privilege and may be sexualized because they have different body types as well. So that's what I'm just saying. Like within the exotical spirit, you really have to have an open mindset to the beauty and different beauty types that are represented. Because if you don't, you're going to end up being a very much extremist and biased and hierarchy thinking person who cannot appreciate beauty for what the fuck it is. And I'm not one of those people because I believe in beauty. I experience pretty privilege. So I don't have to put other women down, whether they put me down or not. I don't have to hit low when they hit low. I don't have to go in people's comments saying you aren't pretty or anything, even to unambiguous black women that might try to bully me as well. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that to you. Because at the end of the day, if you're pretty, you're pretty. Yeah, we might not always agree with our different perspectives about how shit goes down within the community, the black community, because we all have a foot in the black community. And some of us are deemed prettier than others, depending on, what pretty privilege we have in certain places in our lives, certain ages, certain environments, certain communities and neighborhoods within the black community, right? Cool. We can all agree. Okay? But that doesn't mean that it's my job as a beautiful brown to dark skin exotical to try to demonize other people, whether they're unambiguous black women or my fellow exoticals that are brown, dark, or light. I'm not here to do that. That's not what my channel is about. And so I just felt it very disheartening and very interesting when people, as in exoticals and unambiguous black women, um, feel that lighter skin exoticals are literally lying about being light skinned and having their light skin privileges, one could say, or their pretty girl privilege. It is what it is. And here's the gag. The gag is that brown and darker skin exoticals, we also have our brown skin privilege, our dark skin privilege. So that's what I'm just saying for me. I just think it's interesting because if you're pretty, you're pretty. You already have a leg up. You're in the top 20% of women by looks alone. So then the next question is, why are you so focused on the other group of women and what they have compared to you or how they're experiencing their pretty privilege that you try to make a whole entire scale? I don't think that that's necessary. Now, if an individual bullies you or something and you want to call them out, that's different. But to say that every single unambiguous black woman is the enemy, every single lighter skin exotic is the enemy, every single brown dark skin exotic is the enemy, I don't subscribe to that bullshit. And what I do know is that the exoticals I fuck with, that I consider friends, they don't either. So that's why I'm just saying when it comes down to the exotical space, the Exoticals United created, that community specifically for the exoticals within her community, we don't subscribe to that. We don't. We just don't. Because we understand that having pretty privilege is rewarding and it's humbling because our life is ours to make it. It's only up from here for us. And for me specifically, I can speak on myself specifically, it's only up from here for me. And last but not least, Certain unambiguous black women exoticals will never acknowledge my reality and or my identity as a brown cis dark skin exotical, but ultimately I know the truth. And any other exotical listing that might not be acknowledged for their exoticalness or ambiguity, you know the truth too. So I realized this, and at first it was kind of disheartening because it's like I want to be accepted into community as a whole. But then I realized y'all do the same thing to exoticals as well within the black community. Even some exoticals do that to other exoticals where they're not mixed enough for you. They're not otherness enough for you. So you don't deem them exotical. You deem them as just a black person. When I don't believe that blackness is a monolith, and I believe that as a brown shade dark skin exotical, I have ambiguity with my blackness because that's how I'm treated. I have pretty privilege with my blackness. I have certain privileges, privileged plights specifically as well. And I have beauty fluidity with my melanin as well and my features. So I feel different and I know different because I experience different. And so I just find it very interesting and yeah. But these are all the things that I've been thinking about for real, since I started my channel. And I just didn't know how to put them into words because I had to really think deeply and analyze, why do I feel what I feel? Well, this is why I feel what I feel. Interesting. So, yeah. And lastly, I just want to shout out all the exoticals that I fuck with and that fuck with me genuinely and acknowledge me as part of the exotical community and that see my beauty and that understand that a woman like me is an exotical and has pretty privilege and is unique and one of a kind and intelligent and all that good shit. Because it's hard making equal friends that are on your level and higher that also see the potential in you, the beauty in you, and that can admit it. And I realized that, especially with my channel, more than ever. People will literally see that you're beautiful, scroll by, don't give you a like because they're jealous. People will literally talk shit about you and try to humble you because they feel like your type of beauty is shouldn't be praised or put on a pedestal. People, even though you are pretty, because they're subjective beauty standards they're putting onto you and trying to equate it to the objective beauty that you have, which is a fucking lie. Because again, pretty is pretty. That's how we're able to look at all different racial groups and see, oh, she's pretty. And then from there, you can have your preferences of what type of pretty you want to put on the pedestal that favor more so or like more than the other. But then it is still attractive, pretty people. So again, shout out to all my exotical sisters who fuck with me genuinely heavy. Okay? And shout out to Exoticals United. Shout out to her, because she really started something. Whether people like her or don't like her, fuck with her or don't, I fuck with her heavy. And I fuck with the women that I've met through her community and through her Discord because they're amazing, pretty ass, pretty privileged exoticals. Whether they're darker, lighter, or brown, they're bad bitches. And I only fuck with bad bitches. Let me just say that too. Okay? Okay. And so I'm appreciative of the communities that these exoticals are building and the different channels, the different perspectives. We might not always agree with each other's perspectives because we might see something differently, especially when you start breaking down into our experiences, depending on our phenotypes or how exotical we look to some and how exotical we might not look to others. It's just a different plights that we have. But then day, one thing we all have in common are our privileged plights, our pretty privileged plights, things like that, because pretty women, we have a whole different reality from your average or unattractive woman, and it is what it is. This is not to brag. This is not to say, oh, we're better. This is to say this is our reality and we want to talk about it, want to connect with other women that deal with this stuff. We want to heal and want to be better. And we even want to enhance our beauty because we understand that beauty is favor from Yah himself. Any woman listening, if you are favored with beauty, do something powerful with it. Don't be a petty bitch. Don't be vindictive. Don't be jealous. Just get into your beauty bag. Upgrade yourself so you know you a bad bitch. That way it's no doubt. That's what mother's doing. I'm upgrading myself. So I know there's no doubt that I'm a bad bitch in my own mind. Now, others might see me and say, oh, she's definitely a bad bitch. Like, no questions asked. And there are days where I feel like, yeah, I'm that bitch. But there are days I feel like I'm not that bitch. But in day, it doesn't change the reality that you are that bitch. But it's all about your self perception. You want to be able to believe it because you know you did the work. you cultivate a beauty, pretty privileged lifestyle even further than what you already have, and you elevate yourself through health and discipline. And that's what Mother is all about on my channel. This is not for the one and done pretty girl. This is for the pretty girl that believes that beauty is a journey, and every day she wants to get better and better to her higher, pretty privileged, divine feminine self. And if you are not on that wavelength, no matter what phenotype you have, you can miss me respectfully and go find a community that is on the wavelength you're on. But here, I don't do drama. Here, I don't put down other beautiful women. I don't. And I damn sure don't come for their looks, because if you're pretty, you're pretty. Okay? I only speak on things that I feel very drawn to speak on. I only talk about things that I know is going to help my Rosalynds and Rosakins to be better people and to elevate themselves. But everything else, all this foolishness some people got going on, trying to tell me what I am and what I'm not, we're past that phase, baby, by now. I have over 100 videos talking about being a brown cis dark skin exotical, and forgive the loud noise in the background. So at this point, like, and from my perspective and experiences, at least half of them, or a little bit more than half, are about being a brown cis dark skin exotical and what we face. So specifically titled that, but they're all from my brown cis dark skin exotical perspective. Okay, they're all from my perspective. So, and my experiences. So I just want to make that clear for all of you that are listening, because, honey, World War III could break out any day now. We got bigger things to worry about: inflation, tariffs, etc. We ain't got time for no petty, pretty ass bitch shit. Okay, we should all be getting into our bag. And getting into your bag doesn't mean you drag somebody or you doing the most. You know, if you have a problem with someone, you might like say like, "Hey, so and so, this, that." Especially if you were friends before you have a fallout, kind of like what happened with the situation with Exotic Janaya Blunt Girly, stuff like that. Like, okay, I guess I could understand like why people are so drawn into the conversation, because it also does highlight the dynamics of exoticals and unambiguous black women relationships. I'm not gonna hold you, it really does. Where an unambiguous black woman might feel upstaged or throw shade, an exotical unprovoked, and then exotical might feel some type of way, and people call her mean girl because she addressed that shit, because that shit is fucked up, respectfully. Because my thing is that if someone tells you, "Hey, can you just clarify what happened so that I can believe you and trust you? That way I don't have any doubts about our unity, our allyship," but then you don't, like, that's like, what the hell? Like, what's good? Like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? What, did you all go about the way that these two women have went at each other the way they did, or address it the way they did? No, most likely no. But that's between them. All we can do is speak on the lessons we learned from that situation at the end of the day. So that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, I'm all about growth on my channel. You know, I don't really feel the need to do too much with trying to make people see me as something that they will never see me as. And that's what I learned from that. Because what I will say about EU is that I love how her and these articles that I fuck with, they handle shit in their own way, and they just keep it at that. They're very analytical with why people do what they do, or they speculate why someone do what they do. It's not just, "Oh, you ugly, that's why you ain't got no man" type of energy. No stupid petty shit. It's really a psychological, analytical perspective on friendship when it comes down to disagreements within friendships that we might have as exoticals, like this situation, and unambiguous black women, or exoticals to exoticals. So I find it very interesting with how they deal with certain things, because it makes me as a 26-year-old feel like, okay, well, when I have disagreements with other women in the future, I need to really ask them like, "Hey, can we clear the air, or do you have something you want to tell me?" And if they don't, then I go about my business. But then I can analyze that relationship and see what I might have done wrong, in the sense of, was I too trusting? Did I give my friendship to someone? Did I feel like they were happy for me when they really weren't? And anyone could take this lesson if you're analyzing different fallouts, even with the Wiz situation, Wiz the Liz, and with the Halle Bailey situation, Halle Bailey, sorry. Like, there are so many different things we can gather besides drama from all these different situations. And I hope it pushes us to be better friends and better women at the end of the day, not just juicy gossip for anything. and that we're able to have an analytical viewpoint into the things that happen. Um, it's still unfortunate, though. It's still unfortunate. It really is because despite our phenotypes, pretty women, we're in the top 20%, and that includes pretty unambiguous black women as well. My thing is that regardless of what we got going on, honey, we're already a small community to even have pretty privileged as women, because the majority of women are average, and then you got the smaller group that are just plain out unattractive. But my thing is that when you are able to connect with other pretty women on the internet or in any vicinity in life, I feel like you should cherish that, because she understands what you go through more than you realize, because you both be going through the same shit, whether you're dark, light, brown, exotic, or unambiguous, in the sense of you have pretty privilege. Now, when it comes to social dynamics, societal standards, all the other stuff, that might be different. I'm not going to hold you. But at the very least, you could keep it cordial, is all I'm saying. So, yeah. And that's how I feel about a lot of things that I've seen recently. And, they say perspectives could change over time. So, I don't know. But what I learned from this situation so far is really be careful who the fuck you befriend. Be careful who you support. That's what I'm learning. And that's why you see kind of mother like just trying to understand the dynamics a lot. Because I have good intuition, I can feel things. But one thing I learned is when you have low self esteem or when you're struggling with your self esteem or mental health, that shit clouds your judgment. And so then you're in a place of lack instead of abundance, even when it comes down to your perception of your beauty, and then you seek validation from others. My advice to you, my Rosalins and Rosikins, please do not seek validation for your beauty from others, especially others that don't have your beauty in mind anyway. Because once you do that, you give them the key to your queendom. And you say, tell me how fucked up it really is, basically. Because that's what they're going to do. The average, the average woman, even if she's a pretty girl herself, will really critique you and talk a lot of shit, because they want to either level the playing field between your beauty phenotypes or put herself above yours. And I really realized that the hard way, bro. I really realized it the hard way with a lot of different things that I have witnessed so far, whether it's from exoticals or unambiguous black women. Again, this is not all ambiguous black women, this is not all exoticals. Those of you who fuck with me, fuck with me. Those of you who don't, I guess you would say that you're the group I'm talking about. But as far as like a lot of different things, I realized that you really have to, I feel like, ask y'all to guide you and to further your discernment, and also trust your gut. Just trust your gut. And if you see someone being disrespected by that person that you consider a friend or ally, or someone that's very kind, you shouldn't deal with them because they're going to disrespect you. I guess for me, I fucked around and found out that when someone has a nasty disposition, you're not safe. And I always knew this, but I'm learning that even when you are going through stuff mentally, or your self-perception is distorted with your value or your beauty, that it's still no excuse to try to gain friendship with someone that's being vile to someone that you know, because they're just going to do the same to you, and first and foremost because it's not right. And so, my advice to anyone listening is just consider what I've said and understand that whether you are brown, dark, light, exotical, or unambiguous black woman, you really have to just stand 10 toes deep into who the fuck you are. And you don't have to tear down another woman's beauty or throne in order to feel that you are that bitch. And you need to be careful with what friends you have. And you need to analyze why people do what they do. Because if you don't, you're going to get fucked. You're going to fuck around and find out with the wrong company that you've kept. And then you're going to be looking like Bubble the Fool. Ask me how I know. So that being said, I want to shout out my exotical sisters. I love all of you. Brown, dark, light, I don't give a fuck. You guys are some of the baddest bitches I've ever met in my entire life. And I adore your friendship, your support, your kinship, your words of advice. the blueprint you're setting for us pretty girls all around the world within the exotical community. And I really love that you are someone who keeps moving forward, as my baby daddy Aaron Yeager says. Because I'm also the same type of woman. I am proud to be surrounded by like minded women who are focused on healing and elevating their lifestyle through their beauty, and also bringing more than just beauty to the table, bringing intelligence, talents, passions, spirituality, kinship, companionship, friendship, etc. And just your authentic self, standing in all of your cultural glory, staying in all your admixtures, your racial mixes, your multi-generational mixes, all those different things, your phenotype, standing 10 toes deep inside your beauty and the impact you want it to leave, and how you resonate with other pretty women that share your phenotype or don't, through your words, through your images, through your passions, and through your reassurance. I greatly appreciate the exotical community that I'm a part of. And I know that since I have been a part of this community, since I found Exoticals United and all you beautiful ladies, I have grown immensely internally. It has challenged me to look at myself and my beauty and understand myself and my beauty more so than ever, and to stand within my identity of who the fuck I say I am, and making sure that I hold myself to that, regardless of how people want to accept me, disrespect me, reject me, etc. Because at the end of the day, you are living in your body, you have your life story. No one could take your pain, no one could take your triumph. That is all you, baby girl. And you just got to know that, because once you know that, you could go places. Okay? And it's challenging me to think bigger than just this type of environment on YouTube. I know my channel is small as fuck. I'm not going to hold you. It should have been stuck at 613 forever. But I'm so fucking done. But the point is that with time and wisdom and elevation comes more opportunities, more success, and more blessings. And I understand that you have to build something worth it. You know, I don't want fast growth to the point where I could just fall off one day or I have an audience that turns on me. I want growth that is steady and reliable, where the people that resonate with me deeply, that actually listen to my videos, all of them or most of them, they feel some type of connection to my story, to my perspective, to my experiences, and they're able to relate and, want to hear more or share their own. I love it when you Rosalind's comment under my videos and Rosikins. I love it when you share your stories or say, I relate, or thank you, mother, because it lets me know that my story sharing is not in vain and that I am being a blessing to other beautiful melanated women and other exoticals in general. And I just really care about all of you, because like the Halle Bailey video, Brave Face, I listened to that like a good 10 times, if not more. It made me cry because I realized that a lot of us pretty girls go through this. Yes, she shouldn't have gotten pregnant by GDG of all fucking people, or at all. If you ask me, I would say wait till marriage, and even then, questionable. But my thing is that she did, and she's a mother now. And unfortunately, she's tied to that man for the rest of her life through her baby boy. And we know that that shit wasn't going to work because he didn't respect her enough. And he still doesn't. And we also know that she wasn't perfect either. And that she's going through mental stuff. But it shine a light on the fact that you gotta put on your brave face. You gotta face those demons. You gotta stand in your shit. Yeah, I might be a crazy bitch, but I know I am. Type of energy. Yeah, I might not be a 10, but I know I'm a bad bitch at the end of the day. I'm one of the baddest bitches. I'm not the baddest, but I'm one of the baddest bitches, and that's something. I know that some might view me as not exotical enough. But bitch, my experience says I'm exotical enough. What's good? Type of energy. And and you gotta focus on your own growth and healing. And I feel like that's what that video was showing. And it just showed that being a pretty girl, like all of us, whether you agree with each other or not, we all are dealing with shit, bro. And I know sometimes it's easier to just get on the internet and make a fucking video calling other women out or doing the fucking most or trying to, accuse someone of being some type of way they're not or trying to speculate about each other's lives. But the point is that that's not going to stop the hurt that you feel. That's not going to heal you. That's not going to stop you and distract you from your life, the reality that you live in. If you have pretty privilege, you have it. Why beef? Why not just be productive and help other women that also share your viewpoints about life? So, I don't know. For me, I just think differently about shit. And I find it crazy to me. I find it crazy. I just find it crazy how some women move in general because I'm not used to that. But I realize that in these YouTube streets, motherfuckers be reckless and ruthless. But I'm always going to be mother, and I just have a different mindset and different energy, and it is what it is. But to the women that fuck with me heavy, to my Roslins, my exotical sisters out there, I adore you, I love you, and thank you so much for your support and just for taking the time to accept me and pour into me and to give me real talk, woman to woman, pretty girl to pretty girl, wisdom and advice. So, with that, I'm going to say, ciao. Mother loves you. And sorry for my scratchy voice. I really need to drink some fucking tea. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, bye.